All right, everybody, and welcome to what's going to be a fantastic hour of information and training. Hi there, Jim Caldwell here, your VP of Marketing. And thanks all of our English friends and neighbors from the United States, Canada, and gosh, who knows where across the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Great to have you on board here. We're going to be having a nice little fast-paced hour or so as we go through this rank advancement enhancement that we're making to the comp plan. And we're going to make sure that by the end of this hour, you're going to know all the particulars and what's involved here and why this is a very, very good thing for you and for the company. You know, you think about the positioning of this company and the type of growth that we're experiencing right now. And you know, look, we've been dealing with the cap, right? That's been an issue. And we've been absolutely wondering what we can do to add some additional motivation and incentive for the field. So we've kind of handled two things at once. And now, when you think about the fact that people will be more motivated, your members, folks on your team, you are going to have the type of incentive to want to build and grow with the company, because the higher you go, the more money you make. So we're going to get into all the specifics on that over the next hour. And of course, we have been spending time with basically our top 100 leaders, senior presidential directors, of course, our global mastermind, as we've consulted with, as we've informed them of this enhancement that's been coming. So just know that they are perfectly aware. Over the last week to 10 days, they've been brought up to speed. And of course, along the way, long before this, some of them were aware that we were going to be making this wonderful enhancement to the comp plan. So if you have any questions, you'll be able to ask your leadership. And if they don't have the answers, we're certainly going to be prepared to be able to take on any of those questions and answers along the way. In just a moment, I'll have Rex Cokerhans join me. He's our new director of marketing. And of course, I say new, he's been here 3 months, probably feels like a year. He's had so much thrown at him in such a very short period of time. He's been a terrific addition to our team. And he'll be going through some of the slides as he kind of sets the stage for what this is all about. And then we'll turn it over to Emily Hollingshead, who is our director of sales. And I know some of you leaders have had a chance to get to know her, as she has a heart for listening to and engaging with the field, and certainly with leadership, to make sure that, you know, any questions, concerns that you have, they come to Emily, and she absolutely makes sure that you're listened to. You've got a voice at corporate when it comes to field and training and development and understanding what does it really take to be successful. And that's her center, that's her bullseye, that's where she's focused. So in a little bit, she'll be coming on as well. And then later, toward the end, we're going to have an esteemed guest, a global mastermind member, as well as probably the top 1, top 2, top 3 money earner of all time in LifeWave since the beginning of time. Chuck Michael will be joining us to make sure that he imparts some of his wisdom relative to, well, what does it take? What should I be doing, since I know that becoming a manager is very important as we think about this rank advancement new program that we're launching on August 3rd. So it's going to be a fast-paced, fun, it's going to be fact-filled hour. So get out your piece of paper and take some notes and get ready, because this foundationally, for a company that's growing to $1 billion, all of us building to $1 billion together, this is going to be a key adjustment that we make that's going to make a big difference for all of you and for the company as we position ourselves to deal with this continual growth, 10, 11, 12% a month. My goodness, it's happening, it's momentum, and we're looking forward to all that's going to be unfolding as we progress into the future. So without further ado, Rex, I'm going to turn it over to you, my friend. Take it away from here, and I'll join you all back up in a little bit.
Well, thank you, Jim. It's a pleasure to be with you here today, everybody. This is an exciting time. Exciting to be here at LifeWave. As Jim mentioned, I've been at LifeWave for 3 months now, and it's been quite a whirlwind. I'll just say that. This is an incredible period where we are in the exciting position of laying foundation for incredible future growth. And it's been thrilling to work with the executive team at LifeWave. We've brought on all sorts of new talent in the 3 months that I've been here at LifeWave. One of them being Emily Hollingshead, as Jim mentioned, a fantastic talent as our director of sales. We have our new recognition and events manager in Tiffany Hollingshead, and some other really key, exciting positions on the marketing team. And it's a wonderful time to be part of LifeWave. And I'm so excited about it. I'm excited about this enhancement that we're going to be talking with you about today. This is a critical initiative at LifeWave and something we've been working on very hard for a long time. And we're so excited to share with you some details about this enhancement today. So as you're probably aware, with the rapid growth that we've been enjoying as a company and the popularity of some of our packages, particularly the Diamond enrollment package, some of you have been what we refer to as hitting the cap. Our commission payout is applied to your weekly earnings. So many of you have talked to those of us at corporate about this and wanting to have a better sense week to week of what your actual income will look like. And so we have worked towards the solution that really puts you in the driver's seat. We're excited about the potential that this provides our field to really understand week to week what your income will be and rewarding you in the right ways. These enhancements, just to get started, these enhancements will be introduced on Monday, August 3rd. So Monday, August 3rd. So coming right up here in just several weeks, these enhancements will be put into place, and we will start. You'll start noticing the adjustments in the back office starting Monday, August 3rd. So let's talk specifically about what will be different with these enhancements. What will you see as a LifeWave distributor? How will this affect your interaction with corporate in a positive way? What kind of benefits are you going to be seeing with these enhancements that we're going to be rolling out on August 3rd? And there's really three key enhancements that you will notice. The first is that the binary commissions will have a maximum payout amount based on either your enrollment title or your weekly paid as rank. So for enrollment titles, weekly paid as ranks, there will be a maximum payout amount tied to either of those categories, whether your enrollment kit title or your paid as. Again, that's key, your paid as weekly rank within the company. The second thing you'll notice in the back office is that matching bonuses will be paid to those who are paid as manager and above. So managers and above will be paid matching bonuses. The matching bonuses will not have any restrictions on them. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but they will now be paid to managers and above, paid as managers and above. And then finally, and this is exciting, the volume will, any volume not cycled week to week will be carried over from week to week. So you won't lose, as long as you're an active distributor at LifeWave, the volume's not lost, the volume's not flush. You will keep that volume week to week as long as you're an active distributor. So that's kind of the big picture story of the direction we're headed. And now I'm going to turn the time over to Emily Hollingshead. And Emily's going to dive a little bit more into the details of these three enhancements. So Emily, I'm going to go ahead and turn the time over to you.
Thank you so much, Rex. I appreciate you giving us some context to what we're talking about today, and also just kind of helping us understand why we're doing this and where we're going. And I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to talk about the details here. So let's move to the next slide. And this gives us some specifics on what those weekly payout amounts, those maximum weekly payout amounts that Rex talked about. One thing that we're also trying to ensure is that we're using proper language to help distinguish and help everyone understand what we're talking about. So when it comes to our enrollment titles, those would be the packages that you purchased when you entered into LifeWave, or if you upgraded once you joined the company. So those are enrollment titles. So a bronze through diamond, there's a few in between, as many of you know, that would be considered your enrollment title. And for those of you that haven't yet reached a paid as or a lifetime rank, you would have the maximum payout each week of $100 for 2 cycles. Following that, each week you have the opportunity to earn, as you can see here, there's a broad range of figures, all the way up to $25,000 a week based on your paid as rank. So manager, director, senior director, executive director, presidential director, or senior presidential director. Each of those ranks have a specific amount or maximum amount that you can earn through your cycles based on your weekly qualification of rank. So take a look at those figures and set your goal on one of those. Where do I want to first hit? Where do I want to go? What do I want my maximum, or I shouldn't even say maximum, what's my earning potential look like? So take a look at those numbers and make sure that you're really aware of what you can accomplish each week. Now, another piece of what Rex talked about already was the matching bonuses, which is a powerful, powerful part of our compensation plan that allows you to be rewarded for supporting and growing your team. And so within these ranks, we wanted to ensure that we were rewarding those that are really focused on building up their team, their structure, supporting their team, and growing the company. And so with matching bonuses, at this point, you now must be a paid as manager or above each week to be qualified for either level 1, 2, or 3 matching bonuses. Now, I will say this. All other eligibility requirements that are currently listed in the compensation plan still remain. So it's important to understand all of the eligibility requirements for each of those levels. But anything that was listed prior to that would be less of a requirement than being a manager, paid as manager, would then be replaced with that manager qualification. So it's an important distinction to understand. No longer are enrollment titles eligible for this bonus or for these bonuses, but paid as rank manager through senior presidential director, they are. And the really cool thing, the exciting thing about matching bonuses, there's really no limit, right? I mean, the sky is the limit really with this. And so you get paid on the checks of those in your team that you're working with directly on a percentage from 25 or 20 to 25% on each of those levels. So something to really look at and look forward to. And Rex went into this a little bit already, but I just wanted to reiterate and add a little bit more clarification. So each week, based on either your enrollment title or your paid as rank, there will be a maximum number of times you can cycle based on that qualification. So let's say you had more volume than you could cycle through as a paid as manager. That volume isn't going to be thrown away, it doesn't wash away, it doesn't cycle away. Anything that wasn't able to be cycled due to the maximum payout for your paid as rank will remain with you and will be available for you to cycle the next week and the next week based on whatever the maximum payout is allowable for your paid as rank. The only requirement here is that you must remain active, and the active requirement is the same. And so just make sure that you're staying active and those points will always be there. So it's not really a takeaway. It's just, it's a wait. Wait until you've done a couple more things or ensured that you have met the proper requirements to maximize the amount that you can earn each week. So those are the specifics of what we're doing. And that gives us a really clear idea of what you can do to truly put yourself back in the driver's seat and determine what you can earn. You'll be the one that's driving that. Now, I'd like to turn it back over to Rex a little bit to talk a little bit more about why are we changing this and what you can anticipate with this change.
Great, thanks, Emily. So this is an exciting change because we're going to see a dramatic reduction in the application of the commissions cap, and that's really what this is about. Again, as I said in the beginning, it puts you in the driver's seat. Let's kind of recap why we're making this change. First of all, this change rewards those in the business, those in the company who are actually working the business. A successful and healthy network marketing company is only as successful as our people. And this enhancement really focuses the rewards and the incentives and puts them into the hands of people who are actually out there working the business. And that's going to contribute to the long-term growth, prosperity, and health of all of us at LifeWave. And so it really, really targets the benefits and incentives into the hands of those people. It incentivizes, it's a fantastic incentivize to rank advance, right? That as you rank advance, your capacity to earn increases dramatically. And so what a fantastic incentive as we're building our teams. It creates an obvious path to success as we rank advance, which again contributes to the health of the company, contributes to our growth, contributes to our stability as a company. As we rank advance, there's incentives, clear specified incentives tied to each rank advancement. and encourages people to build their teams, right? As they're working the business, they are the ones who are rewarded, which is what we want as a company. And then finally, you control your check size, right? When a commissions cap was applied, it was sometimes difficult to know week to week what your commissions check might be. Now you are in complete control, 100% control of what your check size looks like. You won't be surprised by a commission cap week to week. You'll know that at this particular rank, your income will be this particular amount, that you will have the potential to earn up to a certain amount. And that clarity is a really, really important thing as you're working hard and building your business.
We're going to be having a flow of information out to the field. There's going to be additional training. This doesn't stop here. We're going to make sure that people really do have a constant source, constant access really to the type of information, the answers to these types of questions and more, correct?
Yes. You know, that's a really good point, Jim. We're really devoted to making sure that we are continuously providing new tools, new resources, education, more webinars like this. You'll see a lot more of these cute mugs, you know, coming across the airwaves, but we want to make sure that you have those pieces. We'll be updating the compensation plan. We'll have a document specific to these enhancements, all the FAQs that we just went through will be included in that, and some additional tools that will support the next portion of our training as well. So.
Exactly, correct. Okay, I'll let you guys go. Emily, you stick around. Rex, thank you very much. You guys are doing a great job, and I know it's going to continue as we dig deeper and deeper into enhancements that allow our members across the world, our distributors, one and the same, members and distributors, to be successful and to do everything in our power to help everyone be more and more successful and to be able to operate more efficiently and all those kinds of things. So now, Emily, what I'd like to do is bring in our esteemed guest, Chuck Michael, who's been with the company virtually since day one. I'm talking like the second or third or week or first week, some such thing like that. He's been phenomenally successful. If anybody knows what it takes to become a manager and to teach to that and to provide some insights and motivation and understanding of the importance of moving to manager level. And I know you'll both get into that. And then, well, what do I do? What does Chuck recommend? And I know between you guys, you're going to share that. So first up, Emily, are you going to take a couple of moments and then we'll bring Chuck in? Is that correct?
Yeah. I just wanted to talk about a few things as it relates to manager. And then you're right, we do have quite a treat here in Mr. Chuck. So we want to help you. You know, we've laid some things on you now. We've said, hey, here's some enhancements. Here are some new things to understand about the compensation plan that impact the way that you will be earning your commissions and probably the way that you structure your business going forward. So we thought it'd be really important for us to talk a little bit about what it takes to become a manager. Why would you want to be a manager? What are the benefits of a manager? And then really Chuck is going to share with us the specifics on exactly what you need to do to get there. So let's dive in. This first portion, I'll just be going over a little bit of information, and then Chuck's going to have the real meat of the presentation and the real stuff that I know a lot of you came here to listen to. So first and foremost, anyone that joins the business with an enrollment kit, bronze through diamond, they earn an enrollment title. And in part of that enrollment title, you have certain benefits. So you can earn retail sales commissions, you get PIB or product introduction bonuses for both enrollments and upgrades that you sponsor. And then you can also earn binary commissions at a maximum of $100 a week. So there's some benefits to joining the company that you can have right out the gate. Now there are some benefits as well to being a paid as rank of manager or above. Now manager specifically is what we're focused on today. And if you can see here on the slides, it talks about all the great benefits of being a paid as manager. So again, you can also earn retail sales and commissions. You also have access to PIBs, product introduction bonuses, from those that you personally sponsor and upgrade. You can earn a maximum binary commission per week of $1,500, pretty exciting. And then also you have potential to earn 25% on the checks of those that are your first generation personally sponsored. So that's pretty awesome and pretty exciting, and we want to help you get there. So like we've talked about, it's important to reach manager because it unlocks some pieces to the compensation plan that we want you to have. And we believe that it can be fairly simple if you follow a plan that's clear and concise, and that's exactly what is going to be talked about with Chuck. But in order to be a manager, these are the things that you must do. You must be a gold or above enrollment title distributor. You must generate a minimum of 110 PV per month. You must have 2 personally sponsored active silvers or higher on each leg. So those are the 3 things that need to happen to be a manager. And those things need to be in place each and every week. So like we said, you need to be a gold or above enrollment title distributor. So if you're a gold already, like it says, congratulations, you've met the first step in the requirements necessary to be a paid ads manager. If you're not a gold or above yet, it is okay. Just make sure to go into the back office and upgrade your account as soon as you can. You want to maximize your potential here. Now, step 2, maintain a minimum of 110 PV per month. So one thing that's important to understand that 110 PV, it stems from your own personal purchases, as well as, like it says here, a combination of retail sales, okay, and your personal PV. So really awesome. It doesn't have to be just you purchasing product. It can be based on what you've shared with your customers. Also, you need to enroll on a monthly subscription order of 110 PV. So take a look at that and ensure that you're meeting that requirement. Now, some might say, oh gosh, that's hard, and I don't want to remember about my order each month, or I don't know how I feel about an auto ship or a monthly subscription. So we do have something that we want to make sure that everyone's aware of. We do have what we call our LifeWave's maintenance packages. And truly, those are the best value. So if you're looking for a really good deal and you don't want to have to worry about staying active, I would suggest looking at those LifeWave maintenance packages as a way that you can ensure that you stay active, maximize your earnings, and take away any of the problems with remembering or worrying about some of those specifics. Now the last piece, and this is we're about to get into the meat. So I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me until we can get Chuck here to talk about the things that I know you want to learn about. So the third piece, sponsor 2 active silvers or above on each leg. And what we talk about here is there's 3 steps, and Chuck is going to talk about each one of these and share his secrets to success with these. So the steps would be prepare and connect, follow up, and then step 3, ask the important question. So the first step, like we talked about, prepare and connect. So Chuck, can you talk to us a little bit about this? Talk to us about how you prepare, how you connect, how you classify different contacts, and how you speak with them in a way that helps you to connect in a positive, meaningful, and successful way.
Well, thanks everybody for being on the line. And what I want to share with you are and I like to call them conversations. I'm a little negative when people say they're scripts, because that reminds me of a telemarketer who's reading from a 3x5 card. So I think we're better off, at least I found when I was building my business, if I would just create conversations. And this is a friend relationship business. We don't go out and run ads. We don't have to buy lead lists. What's so unique about networking, especially the way we build LifeWave, because we have so much information on the website, is that we want to first approach people that we know, people that we care about, people that we have a relationship with. Now, if you've followed some of the MLM guidelines, typically you want to make a list. And the bigger the list, the bigger the paycheck. It's a direct correlation. But the reality is that as you start to build your list, you're going to have different personalities. For instance, if you call your attorney, you call your insurance agent, you call whoever sold you your car, maybe it's the principal of your high school. That's a relationship that sort of is triggered around some interchange, some event, something that you've been involved with that individual in the past. So we'll say that's Group A. Group B are friends. These are folks that you see maybe every day, every other day. It's family, it's a cousin, it's an aunt, it's an uncle, it's a neighbor. And that's what I would call a real warm, fuzzy relationship. But you don't want to be discouraged from carrying on a conversation with both of those groups, because the irony is, and the sad thing is, that you'll prejudge. Oh, well, gosh, he's my attorney. He's very successful. I can't imagine that he would have an interest in LifeWave. Well, let me share with you folks, there are attorneys in our business that are making 3 times, 4 times what they ever made practicing law, or a doctor. Networking is prolific with medical doctors who have just been so fed up with medical insurance. So the point I'm making is that don't build any kind of a negative mindset because of someone's background or how you know them. And you don't have to if you know how to start the conversation. That's really the key. And that's what I want to share with you. And this is a conversation that I've used for a lot of years. And I'd like to say I invented it, but I didn't. I stole it, but I only steal from the best. And it worked magnificently as I built my business. And if you think about it, it does a couple of things. Number one, it builds curiosity. And that's what drives any marketing venture. If you can trigger someone's curiosity that they can have a cleaner countertop, they want to know what your product is. Or if you can trigger curiosity, you got a set of tires that'll perform better in the snow, they want to know more about it. So this conversation is simple. I encourage you to write it down, and I would encourage you to practice it. And it simply starts with, hey, Mary, let me tell you what happened to me. That's as tough as it is, folks. That opens the conversation. So now let's go against our two groups. We have the group A, which are more professional, will say you only know them through somewhat of a one dimension focus, where the others are friends or relatives. So we'll start there first. You're going to go to friends you know, golfing buddies, neighbors, relatives, wherever there's a warm and fuzzy. It's the same script. So it would open up, and I'm gonna give it to you in pieces, so that we can show you how effective they are. But then I'll give you the entire script, entire conversation, so there's continuity. So just let me break it down so you'll understand how impactful it is. So the opening of the conversation, if it's a phone call, if you meet them at a birthday party, it's simply, hey, Bill, let me tell you what happened to me. Now, at that point, you've got to, because you know these people, this is your warm market, you know these people. And I went through this because of my background before LifeWave. I was a commercial real estate developer. We built business parks. We built a couple of small shopping centers. So my circle of influence, these were entrepreneurs. These were folks that had built their own enterprise. They were very successful at building a variety of different types of projects. But I knew, because that's my business, that development has some major swings. There are very, very good times. And when the market goes south, I don't care how good you are. It's like today. If you've got a body pack restaurant and COVID hits, you don't have anybody 6 deep at your bar. So, there are the swings in real estate. So that was something that I was familiar with. So when I said to a friend in real estate, hey, Fred, let me tell you what happened to me. I'm going to go to Fred, what I call top down. In other words, business down. Because I know that's where his mindset is. So he wants to know, and I want to share with him a terrific timing dynamic where we can make a whole bunch of money without a massive investment. But I have to do it by starting the conversation. Hey, Tom, let me tell you what happened to me. And then I just tell my story. Okay? Open the conversation, tell your story. Now, if it's top down, your story is going to be primarily the business side. Now, when I talk about business side, these are the key bullets. Number one, timing. We're first in the United States and really first internationally. There is no market that isn't wide open. Today, it'd be a little late to try to start a McDonald's franchise because they're everywhere, or a Starbucks. So that's late. And if you're early, your money is real smart. So that's the key. Number one, timing. We're at the beginning. Number two, proprietary products, patented. They can't be sold in any other environment. They won't show up the grocery stores, the retail environments, the drug stores. They're private to us. So that's very important. Exclusivity, especially if you're talking on the business side. Third is price point. Cheaper than a cup of coffee and consumable. Now, what's so cool about consumable, and if you've ever driven by a Starbucks, you can see what consumption is because there's usually a line through the drive-through. And these aren't newbies. These are people that are there every day, spending another $4 or $5 for a latte. So Starbucks doesn't have to resell. So if you look, and there are some others, but I don't want to just limited time. I just want to give you what I felt when I was opening up my conversations. I wanted people to really understand the dynamics of timing were first. And I would build a little story behind that. And I'd say, and Fred, it's just like being first with McDonald's, first with Starbucks, first with Apple, first with Dell stock. You know, people that got in early, they're wealthy. So timing, to anyone who has a business mindset, top down, timing is important. They don't want to be late to the game. It's too late to buy electric typewriters. That ship has sailed. It's too late to buy dial telephones. That ship has sailed. So timing is not only critical, but if you miss it, your enterprise goes nowhere. So the other thing that's very important, as I said, is exclusivity. So I want to build that in. So I'm giving a little bit of a sidebar, but this is the way my conversation went when I started. I called my real estate buddies. Hey, Fred, let me tell you what happened to me. I had a phone call from a friend of mine. He had been an investor in one of my small projects, and he shared with me some new technology. And he said, Chuck, he said, I think we need to pay attention to this. Now, then I had lived a life. I said, so Fred, I was kind of interested because I know that if you're first to really get your arms around new technology, whether it's cell phones, whether it's PowerPoint, that's where the money's made. It compounds so much faster than when you're late. So when he said to me, hey, Chuck, I've seen some new technology I think we need to pay attention to, I got interested. I said, yeah, okay, you got my attention. He said, well, now he told the story. So again, my conversation is telling the story. Hey, Fred, let me tell you what happened to me. I had a call from a friend of mine, and he described this young scientist whose office at the time was in Atlanta, and he's developed a new technology to handle personal challenges of lack of energy, lack of sleep, pain management. But Fred, nothing goes in the body. No drugs, no chemicals, no toxins, no narcotics. It was brilliant, and it's patented. So I said, okay, you got my attention. What do I do? He says, well, you got to go to Atlanta, and you've got to meet the founder and the scientist, David Schmidt. I said, well, when do I have to be in Atlanta? I'm in California. He said, you got to be there Saturday. I said, well, George, today's Thursday. Yep, you're going to plane tomorrow, and you got to be there Saturday. Now, I went because my trigger point was timing, being first, being at the top of the food chain. So I said, just to give you continuity, so my conversations were, and I did this over and over and over and over. Hey, Fred, let me tell you what happened to me. A friend of mine told me about some new technology. It was patented. It was founded and invented and patented by young scientists in Atlanta. So I went to really understand and get my arms around it. Well, I spent 2 days in Atlanta on a weekend with David Schmidt, and I listened, I tried the product, and I was overwhelmed. And so I came back to California because here's what we have our arms around, Fred. We will be at the top of the distribution. Wherever it goes, we get paid because we are able to start the distribution channels. And so when you have a minute, I'd like to walk you through the product and even let you try it. How's tomorrow? And we'll have a cup of coffee. So to give you continuity, hey, Fred, let me tell you what happened to me. I had a call from a friend of mine. He told me about this new technology, new young company. It had some dynamics that I liked. It was patented. It was consumable. The price point was cheaper than a cup of coffee. So I went to Atlanta, and he was right. So I thought about you, Fred, and we should get together because I really want to give you the insights to the product and see if you'd like to join us as we launch this thing, California, but it'll go worldwide. How's your schedule tomorrow? So that's the let me tell you what happened to me conversation, and I'm telling it from my point of view. So you've got to think exactly, how was I introduced to LifeWave? And that's your story. Now, that's what I call top down. I'm selling opportunity. Bottom up is the exact same thing, but it has to do more with your experience with the product. but it's pretty much you. Now, you may have both a reason that you wanted to build a business and make money. That's your top down. The other is the bottom up, which is product driven. So let me walk you through that script. Hey, Mary, we haven't spoken for a while. I know that our kids were playing soccer the other day, but I was thinking about you. Let me tell you what happened to me. I don't know if you knew of my wife, Kathy, who you know. She had a sleep challenge, and she was on Ambien. Well, she woke up, and we found her one morning in the garage, in the car, sleepwalking. And if she'd have had the key, she would have backed that car either back through the garage door or driven it right into the house, because this Ambien that she was taking just has terrible side effects. People sleepwalk. In Kathy's case, she ended up in the garage in the car. Well, a friend talked about a new health modality, no drugs, no toxins, nothing ever goes in the bloodstream. Kath is sleeping through the night, no more Ambien, no more drugs. So if you know of anyone, now this is what I call the dismount. So if you know of anyone who has some sleep challenges, let me know and I'll let them try the product. Okay, so it's pretty much the same. Let me share with you, let me tell you my story, but you have to mentally say when you look at your list, am I going to drive this from the top down, which is your experience? Now maybe, and this is another great one, say, hey, Fred, let me tell you what happened to me. I'm a little embarrassed, but I don't know if you know, my wife and I were overloaded in credit card debt. And it got to where we were taking out another credit card to pay for the other credit card's monthly payments. I was like in a treadmill of more and more debt. Well, let me tell you what happened to me. A friend of mine showed me an opportunity, which costs really nothing to get started. You can do it on your own time. And I mean, it's the easiest $1,000 a month ever with a patented product, and it'll grow from there. And I was thinking about you. So your top down on the business money side can be somewhat, more modest, where I would love if I can make an extra $2,000 or $3,000 a month just to pay those darn credit cards. I'd be as happy as could be. But you want to share your story, and the dismount is, so Mary, if you know of anyone who'd like to have a secondary income stream that they can work on their own time, it's not a boss to a second job, and to get it started, you could do it with a cookie bake-off or a mild garage sale. So money is not an issue. So if you know of anyone who'd like to get a little something started, maybe it's to buy a new motorhome. Maybe say, boy, if we made an extra $1,000 a month, could tuck it away, and a year of a down payment for a new motorhome, that would be terrific. So if you know of someone, let me know, and I'll sit down with them and walk them through exactly what we're doing. Okay, so those are very easy conversations, and it's you telling your story. Now, just in closing, stories can be third party, as can any marketing effort. I'll guarantee you the founder of Kibble's Dog Chow, he doesn't eat it. So you don't have to feel that you have to have a product experience in every single product. That's not realistic, and you don't need to. Just as I say, the CEO of Kibble's Dog Chow, that's not his entree in the evening, but he knows there's lots and lots of satisfied little puppy dogs out there. So third party would go something like this. Hey, Fred, let me tell you what happened to me. I have a friend who I used to play golf with, and he had this terrible, almost arthritic shoulder. And he basically had to give up golf. And a friend introduced him to this new health modality, this new health product where there's no drugs, no narcotics, no toxins, nothing ever enters the bloodstream. We're playing golf again. So if you know of anyone who's suffering from a knee or an elbow or a hip or a shoulder discomfort, let me know. They got to know about this. So that's all third party. It wasn't me with a bad shoulder. So you can craft, and you could do it just by picking testimonials offline. Hey, Fred, let me tell you what happened to me. I was on this website, and there was this gentleman talking about a terrible knee that he he had challenges with after a motorcycle accident. He could hardly walk. And then he tried this new technique with no drugs, no narcotics. The guy's running sprints. So I thought about you because I know you've complained about that elbow, so you should know about this. And when you have a minute, I'll kind of walk you through what it is because I have decided to really engage with this product. So we have a little time, I'll walk you through it. So those are the conversations, and they're so easy to start, folks. You just call whoever it is. Now, let's say it's Charlie Big Dome. He's president of the local bank. Here, it's the exact same thing, but you want to get his opinions because he's smart. He's been very successful, and that's great. So the conversation would be the same thing. Oh, hi, Mr. Big Dome. This is Chuck Mike. I made a special call because I was thinking about you, but I want to tell you what happened to me. And I was thinking about you. I was introduced to a new tech company. And then it's the same script, but you say, so I wanted to share it with you as a banker, because if you know of any entrepreneurs that are looking for a timing situation to be first in a distribution channel, just like being first with Starbucks, McDonald's, Dell, Microsoft, because you're a banker, that those that subscribe early have tremendous leverage on their invested dollars. $1,000 in Microsoft in 1978 is worth $100 million today. Do the math. So there's tremendous opportunity to leverage dollars if you're there early. So that's one of the things that I like to stress. But don't be afraid of reaching out to your attorney. Same thing, I'm supposed to give you a call because you know lots of people who might be looking for something. So that's another part of the conversation. So Emily, if you have any questions, fire away. But that's really the conversations that you want to start. And don't be afraid to start them with anybody.
Oh, I love that, Chuck. I love what you're saying here. Let me tell you what happened to me. And I think that is so great because it's so easy. Anyone can say that and share their experience. So I love that. Thank you for what you shared on that. I know you had some ideas that you wanted to talk about, or maybe just the importance of following up as our step 2 in getting us to manager. Can you talk to us a little bit about why that's important and what you use as a tool or a technique to follow up with those that you've shared and told what happened to you?
Yeah. Well, I believe it's, it's kind of like a romance. It's not a one-night stand. It's not a kiss them and leave them. You want to build a relationship. And so my script generally, as I would call my within the database I developed, I would say, hey, Fred, let me tell you what happened to me. And I would either share them my product experience, or I would share my experience going to Atlanta. Then I would say, here's your next step. I'd like you to go to the website. There's lots of stuff there. And then after you've had a chance to review it, a lot of questions will pop up. And either call me or I'll call you in a couple of days. And I think I can fill in the blanks. Thanks, Fred. Talk to you soon. So I'm starting this here's your next step roadmap. Don't be afraid to be a consultant because you're calling them and you're sharing something. So they need to know, okay, what do I do next? Well, don't wait for them to ask you. You want to guide them. So here's your next step. Here, write this way. In fact, I'll tell you what, I have your email. I'll send you the link. Take a look, a lot of stuff there. Probably confusion, no big deal, but maybe take some notes, then I'll call you back and we'll review it. Now, on my callback, when I call back, I said, hey, Fred, Chuck, did you have a chance to review the website? I mean, I'm just simply following up. And you may say, oh, Chuck, I got home and I had a busted screen door, and you cannot live with a busted screen door, so I had to fix it. I said, no, I understand. That's a big project. I know you're busy. When you have a minute, go through it. Then I like to add a little to the website. So like if you're following up and they haven't had a chance to do it, I want to build a little more curiosity. So, oh, by the way, when you go to the website, take a look at some of the testimonials and take a look at all of the peer review and the different medical write-ups on the product. It's fascinating. and then I'll get back with you in a day or two, or call me. Okay, bye-bye. So then it's another follow-up, the fortune of the follow-up. Hey, Fred, have you had it? Yeah, I did go in there. This looks like one of those MLM deals to me. Oh, now this is where you need to simply vaccinate what might be a little bit of a negative response, or maybe, boy, it looks like you got to invest money. Oh man, you got to be a salesman to do this. Those are, kind of a negative response. Now, again, this is the conversation. It's the same on them all. So let me put it in context. Yeah, Chuck, I went to the website and man, you gotta buy these packages. It seems a little expensive. Here's the conversation. Fred, that is the best part. In fact, that's why we're growing so fast. Because not everybody out there can afford a $50,000 franchise enrollment fee or a $10,000 down payment to flip a house. You literally can do what I did and start the business for what it would take to do a cookie bake-off. I mean, you could start the business for $250, $1,500. That's it, one time. And then you get your entire business dashboard. They do your accounting. They do your marketing online. Oh, that's why they're growing so fast, because so many people are trying to find a secondary income stream and they don't have money to initiate so many other opportunities. But it's a good point. I'm glad you brought it up. Okay. So again, you're sharing, and the way that you gain the privilege of explaining that with that simple phrase, oh, that's the best part. So let's say the response is, geez, I went in and it looks like one of those multi-level deals to me. Fred, that's the best part. In fact, that's why we're growing so fast, because people are so tired of those, the pills and the drinks and all the nonsense. What they did, it's a smart approach, is they took what Warren Buffett did. Warren Buffett owns a company called Pampered Chef. And if you read the book, Warren Buffett, who's I think the second wealthiest man in the world, the reason he loves Pampered Chef is because of the distribution channel. So LifeWave copied it, friends to friends. That's exactly what they did. And that's why they're growing so fast, because people understand that if you can build a business without a lot of upfront capital and just your own sweat equity and let it grow, especially with a consumable product, it can create a great income stream. Okay. Now, there's a lot of words, but you can create your own conversation, but don't be afraid of a negative feedback. Like, oh man, I'm a terrible salesman. I could never just like that. So, Fred, that's the best part. In fact, that's why they're growing so fast. The best reps within LifeWave are school teachers, ministers, coaches, chiropractors. Salesmen talk too much. They're not the big hitters within LifeWave. It's professionals. It's people who care about people, teachers who really understand how to coach. No, you'd be perfect. So again, most negative feedback can be vaccinated with that simple, oh, that's the best part. Wait till you hear that. Wait till you hear this. In fact, that's why they're growing so fast. So anyway, Emily, that's kind of my my follow-up, is that I'm ready. I'm ready with these little vaccination conversations. I'm following up. And let me just follow that one thread through, because I sort of stopped midpoint. So let's say I followed up twice and my friend has finally gotten to the website. And lots of times I'll get positive feedback. Say, yeah, I went in. Boy, they really got quite a robust website, all the links. Yeah, it was interesting. See, it really is. Now, Fred, here's your next step. You want to get the baseline, what we call the entry kit. That's the baseline product line. And most important, you're going to be positioned in our distribution channel with a fellow who introduced me. With me, we're all riding on the same channel, meaning we'll all help and work together. So you're going to get positioned properly. That's why you want to sign in through my website. And the package you want is Diamond, because that's going to put you at the top of the at the top of the pay plan. You have the bragging rights. Other people want to do what you did, and we can do it on your Visa, your MasterCard. What's easier? Now, I haven't said the price, have I? What I've said is, here's your next step. Here's where you want to be. Here's why. And I can do it on your Visa, your MasterCard, what's easier. So the obvious response, at least what I got 90% of the time, says, well, what's this going to cost me? Oh, Fred, that's the best part. Wait till you hear this. First thing you're going to get is you're going to get a business platform within your website. It would cost you at least $50,000 to put this together. It translates into 12 different languages. It does all of your accounting. It has all the product information, including all the medical reviews. It's all done for you with your name on it. So that alone is a lot of money that you don't have to spend. Secondly, you're going to get over 30 sleeves of products. So you'll have plenty of product to use, to share with your friends and family. So you can't sell from an empty wagon. So you're going to have everything you need to get started. And it's only $1,500, and you could do it on your Visa, your MasterCard. What's easier? Okay, before I lay the price on them, I got to build value, because everything is too expensive if there's no value behind it. So when you realize that what you get, I mean, just as I say, the business portal alone, spend some time and go through it. Can you imagine if you tried to put all those videos and the links and the product information, the shopping cart, it takes credit cards, Visa, MasterCard. If you tried to put that together, it's tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars. So you get that, and you get the whole package, $1,500, and I can do it on your Visa, your MasterCard. So I've built tremendous value to make the $1,500 very logical. So that, again, that's good conversation.
I love that, Chuck. I think that leads us into our final question here, or I should say our final step. Ask the important question. And I think you're right on the verge of that last part there. So can you share with us, how do you seal the deal? How do you, after you've built in the value, after you've made sure you've connected and shared in a way that lets you have that follow-up opportunity, how do you close it?
Well, again, it's a process. It isn't give me your money. It's a process. And the process is the same conversation that I've sort of have woven in to a lot of these different examples. Mary, here's your next step. Remember, you deserve the right to be their consultant, to be their coach, because you're going to be for a while. Now, when I say you, the pronoun is probably collectively you and your sponsor and your upline, but we'll just say it's you. So you have the right to coach them, and you should, because you're going to guide them through the early stages of getting things started with LifeWave. You're going to share these conversations. You're going to share a little bit about the product, how they can better understand phototherapy. So my close is simply, Emily, here's your next step. We want to get you positioned right, so you'll be right within my distribution channel with my sponsor, he's doing a great job, building a great business. We're in a good group here. We're kind of focusing on wherever, California, Maine, where you're from. So you want to get that product pack. And I'm going to give you, if you go into my website, and it'll automatically position you right under me and the team. So go to the website and just go to log in, and you can use your credit card. I recommend the Diamond Pack. Visa, MasterCard, what's easier? So it's Emily, I think the essence is a close is not give me your money, right? It's here's the next step that'll help you have a real quick, successful track with us in LifeWave. Here is your next step. You want to get signed in, you want to get a position, you want to get your product pack. Then what I'd like to do is get you on a three-way with my sponsor, because he is dying to meet with you and how we'll work as a team to get your distribution channel started, and mostly kind of teach you the easy ways to share the product with people you care about.
Thank you so much for sharing those specifics. We just have this last little one here, and I know you already talked about this a little bit, right? But we want to sign them up with silver above, and like you said, diamond is an awesome place for them to come in because it builds so much value. But you do it 4 times. Sign up 2 on your left, 2 on your right, and you are a new manager. So just as a reminder for the steps that Chuck went through with us here, first prepare and connect appropriately, follow up, and ask those important questions. And then this last piece, I know Chuck, you'll speak to this as well. Repeat, repeat, repeat again. Right, Mr.
Yeah.
Mr. Chuck?
Yep. Well, the only footnote, and I think this is important because as you've done it a half a dozen times, you'll be very good at the conversations. Don't be afraid to help your people. So helping might be, like when I would get a new rep, I was able to go full time because I had sold a lot of my, some of my real estate stuff. And so I had time to really dig into it. But a lot of the folks that I called, they had other things going. So I would say, hey, Fred, give me 2 or 3 people who you feel might want to have better understanding what we do. And I'll call them for you. They're your people. I'll call them for you and share what we're doing and see if they'd like to join the team. Yeah, okay, yeah. In fact, I got a guy in my office, Billy Schwartz. Yeah, I don't have time. Here, let me give you his name and number. So this was my conversation with Billy Schwartz. Oh, hi, Billy, Chuck Michael. Billy, I made a special point to give you a call. All right, now, very important, you've got to gain rapport early because you're just a cold telemarketer as far as he's concerned. But that magic. Oh, hi, Billy, Chuck Michael. Made a special point to give you a call because a mutual friend, Fred Adams, spoke highly of you. And Fred and I are on a very interesting project together, and he thought about you. And if you have a second, I'd like to walk you through what we're doing. See, that way you're breaking into other friends and family. They're just one generation removed. But that's a powerful script. And especially want to give you a call because a mutual friend spoke highly of you. We're involved in an interesting project together. He thought about you. If you have a second, let me walk you through what we're doing.
I think that is part of the repeat, 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 right? It's leveraging those people that you've already done the work with and that you're building together with. Gosh, this has been really, really awesome. Thank you so much for all the specifics you've given us, Chuck, all the great scripting, and just the great perspective on how simple this can be and how it doesn't have to be scary to become a manager. And no matter what your experience is or who your contacts are, I feel like we have the potential or at least the tools that we need to be able to communicate successfully. So thank you so much, Chuck. We really, really appreciate you.
You bet. Thank you, Emily.
Yeah. Well, I'll turn it back over to Jim just to close this out. And thank you all for being here.
Emily, great stuff. Chuck, as always, when you think about it, there are many, many ways to get to the top of the hill. Think about it. As we all come to this opportunity like Chuck did, like we all do, even when I first discovered this 15 years ago when I first met David Schmidt, I was asked to come to a meeting. I was asked to do some push-ups. I discovered how cool the energy enhancers were, and 2 weeks later, I was sitting in front of David Schmidt saying, what the heck is this stuff? So, we've all got our story, right? We've all got our story. And there's all kinds of ways you can go about building your business. Chuck has an approach. He says, hey, basically, let me tell you what happened to me, and that has worked for him. And others might say, well, you know what? I think it's important that you try this product. You can do it 30 days risk-free. In fact, I got a couple patches here. Let me get you patched. You want to try the product. There's different ways to do this. And then, of course, the fortune's in the follow-up. So look, it is all about taking advantage of this rank advancement enhancement. There are these wonderful things coming that on August 3rd are going to allow you to make as much money as you want between binary commissions, matching bonuses. The sky is the limit. And so just know that as a company, we're here for you. We're going to continue to train on this. We'll continue to have a flow of information to you to make sure that you have all that you need to be able to move through this wonderful new dynamic as we continue to move into the future. And think about what David's doing. Think about what he's doing in the lab. Chuck talks about, the key is to get in early. And you might say, well, gee, we're 15 years into this. This isn't early. Well, guess what? The technology continues to break new ground. And that's the key. And that's where we're early all the time with these new, interesting additions to our product line, which you can just trust there is more coming. So as you take advantage of this new opportunity with this new rank advancement that's happening now and starts August 3rd, as you take advantage of this new career path that we're going to be developing over time, the sky really is the limit. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks to Rex, to Emily, to Chuck, to contribute to this hour, a little past an hour. And we just know that there's so much that's going to be coming. We really are just getting started as we build to 1 billion together. So we're here for you. We're working together, corporate and the field. If you're not successful, we're not successful. So we have all the motivation in the world to make sure that you are able to do the business and do this world of LifeWave to the best of your ability. So until next time, we look forward to seeing you all down the pike. And as Zig Ziglar, that incredible sales trainer, has always been known to say, we will absolutely see you at the top. So thanks again for your time, and we'll see you on down the line. Take care for now. Bye-bye.